Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of what I'm calling some neglected makeup. So makeup that I know I have not used in a while, things that I kind of know what I think, but maybe I don't really know what I think, or just things that I know are kind of neglected by me. And if you've been watching my channel in the past month, 2 months, in 2024, something that I really want to focus on and continue to focus on is utilizing my whole makeup collection. And I've been doing this through my everyday makeup drawer videos that I do at the beginning of every month. I choose a selection of products to keep here in my everyday makeup drawer, and I've been choosing a more select group of products, not a ton of options in each category, and that's really been working for me. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've done it 2 months now, so January and February, and I just find that I love having a smaller group of products to really focus on for the month, and it just really allows me to really get to know those products. And another way I want to continue really using my whole makeup collection is through these types of videos this year. So we're going to make this into a series called Full Face of My Neglected Makeup, because the reality is, because of what I do, I have a larger makeup collection than I need or the average person needs. And you know, that's just kind of what's going to happen when you do this type of job. I try to keep it under control. I'm trying to keep it more under control, but I'm going to have more makeup than the average person. So another way I really want to utilize my collection is by doing these videos. So I want to do them like once a month and just go through and pick out the things that really stick out to me. So I went through, picked out a group of products, and we're going to do a full face. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe, stick around, and let's get started. All right, the first product that I picked out is actually not really a makeup product, but I know a lot of people use this as a primer, and it's the Glow Recipe Waterman Niacinamide Dew Drops. I'm sure we are all familiar with this product. This is probably one of the most viral makeup products ever. I guess this was, I don't know, like a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that. You couldn't watch a makeup anything without somebody talking about these or using them. So I've had mine for a while and I don't use these. I don't use them. I've used them here and there, but I don't know. I don't really get the hype. I mean, they're a nice glowy base, I guess, but I have a lot of nice glowy bases, you know? And I don't personally love the smell. I know a lot of people love the watermelon smell. I actually typically do like watermelon smells, but this one is a little bit, I don't know. It smells extremely artificial to me, and it is, so that makes sense. But I don't know. This is just something that I have, and I definitely just don't use ever. So I figured we could use it today. I've already done my skincare and my sunscreen and all that, so I'm basically just using this as a primer. So you can see it gives a ton of glow, but again, I have other products that do the same thing and they don't smell like artificial watermelon, so I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I wanted to use them. I'm gonna do foundation now. Usually I do color corrector, but I'm gonna go in with foundation. And we're gonna use this. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin liquid makeup. Now, I remember using this in a video, but it's been, I want to say it's been like a year, and it's not expired because I just checked. It expires August 2024. So we're good. So this is, I don't know how long this has been around, but I know it's been around a long time. So it doesn't have a pump. Looks like this. So you just have to kind of pour it out basically. I'm sure you could probably order a pump on Amazon. But for now, oh yeah, see, this makes a mess. See, I just tried to pour this out and I got way too much. All right, I think it might be a little bit dark for me right now. I want to say I bought this in the summertime. Well, you know what? I was going to say I'll try my new mixing pigment from House Labs, but I think we'll just go with this and then I'll even it out with some concealer. But anyways, this is the shade 40 Nude. And first of all, this has like kind of a sunscreeny smell that I'm not like a huge fan of. But I do remember when I tried this the first time, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was gonna be like something that I really liked, and I did from what I remember, but it's been a while. Yeah, so I got way too much on the back of my hand. I feel like Neutrogena, in fact, I have this conversation with my mom all the time. Neutrogena is one of those brands, I just would love to understand their like strategy, like their sales marketing strategy with their makeup, because, or just their product development in general, because the stuff that I've tried from Neutrogena makeup wise, and skincare I really like from Neutrogena, but the stuff that I try I really like, but it's like they make these products that don't come in very many shades. Like we were just talking about the Neutrogena Hydra Boost skin tint, the one that has the doe foot applicator. I have used that. It's been a while, but I've used that before, and that is a beautiful product, but it comes in like 6 shades. And I would say that about a lot of Neutrogena makeup. Like they made a blush, I think it's called the Healthy Skin Blush. And I want to say it came in 2 shades, but they do that kind of stuff. They do that all the time. Like, why are you making a blush in 2 shades? And I want to say one of the shades got discontinued so that they only had the one, and it was like a light shade. Like if you were any darker than a light medium skin tone, you couldn't use it. So I don't know. I would love to know like what their, I guess maybe they don't put a lot of their budget into the makeup. They put it into the skincare maybe. I don't know. I would just love to know like what is their goal with the makeup? Because it can't be to be super successful. Because if it was, I don't know why they would be making things and making 5 or 6 shades. But who knows? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. All right, I'm bouncing over this with my sponge now, but now I'm remembering why I even have this in my collection still. This is a beautiful foundation. I would say light medium coverage. It's definitely a little bit dark for me right now, but it's a good match in the summertime. But this is beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. Very natural, healthy looking on my skin. It has some glow, but not a crazy amount of glow. It's very thin, lightweight. I mean, this is beautiful, but like, what is going on? Like, why can't we get a foundation like this from them with a decent shade range? I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, so I am just going around and tapping it a little. We'll even out the color a little bit with our concealer, but I mean, this finish, beautiful. Glad I pulled it out though, because it is pretty. It's much prettier than I remembered. For my under eyes, because they are really distracting me, I pulled these out. Who remembers these? You haven't seen them on my channel in 6 months probably. These are the Nars Light Reflecting Eye Brighteners. I did a whole video on these when they came out. The main reason I don't reach for these is the shades. I love the formula. I think the formula is great, but I wish they would make more peach pink shades in these, because I think this formula, beautiful, very hydrating, has some pigment but not a ton of pigment. It's not heavy looking under the eyes, but most of these shades are more yellow toned, which kind of makes sense for Nars, honestly, because Nars shades, their foundations tend to run yellow in my opinion. So I have 2 of them. I have Night Swan, which is this one, and Golden Eye, which is this one. Night Swan is a little bit less yellow, but they both lean warm to me. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Golden Eye, which is the second lightest shade. Yeah, see how yellow that is? That's why I don't use this. And I'm not using much. I'm just gonna use a little bit here All right, I'm gonna grab a brush because my nails are a little bit long at the moment and they're kind of at an awkward stage where I can't really dip my finger into a lot of makeup. So I'm gonna go over this with a brush. Yeah, I just don't like this color. Honestly, that golden eye one, I will probably declutter now because I just don't like the yellow. I just don't like the yellow. The formula though is nice. Why won't they come out with pink shades? Maybe I will add just a little bit of the lighter shade, which is Night Swan. But honestly, neither shade is my favorite. Hence why I don't reach for them, because pretty much all of my other like correcting type products, I feel like I reach for them. I rotate those a decent amount, but these, the shade is just not right. All right, that's as much as I'm gonna do of those shades because I'm just not a fan. But such a beautiful formula from Nars. But I just don't like the shades. I wish so bad they would come out with some different ones. But I did just try a new corrector and I'm not sure which video is coming out first, so you might have already seen it. But there is a new corrector on the market that is fabulous in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, it's coming next. So the concealer that I picked out is this one. These are the Tower 28 concealers. I pulled these out because I get asked about these so often. So often. I get DMs about this concealer. People ask me all the time what I think about this concealer. The reason I don't use it and the reason I don't really talk about it is because to me, the times I've worn it, it is very creasy under my eyes. Very creasy. It's a nice, fluid, thin, lightweight formula, but it creases. It really creases on me. And I don't have a ton of fine lines. I have them, you know, if I get really close to my lash line. I'm 31. I have some little fine lines there, but I don't have a ton. So when I notice the creasing, like significant creasing, then it sticks out to me because I don't typically notice that a ton. But anyways, I have two shades. I have DTLA, which is a pretty neutral undertone. So I love DTLA. This one is a little bit lighter. This is CC. So I put that here so we can try to brighten a little bit. But honestly, I like DTLA, the shade a bit better. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this here, but I want to use it again because it's been a little while since I've used it. One thing I will say about the shade range on this concealer is the shade range is pretty good for me. I do think they did a good job of including some true neutral undertones, which again is not always the case. In fact, it's more often than not the case with foundations, concealers. I don't know why, but it is really hard to get a true neutral undertone. I do think they did that well with this concealer. So I'm gonna just blend this in. If you have this concealer, let me know what you think of it. It is a really nice feeling concealer because it's so thin, it's so lightweight, but I don't know, it just doesn't perform like I want it to when I've used it. But that's why I want to use it again, because it's definitely something that's been neglected in my collection. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my Sigma brush for my under eyes. This is the F03. And this shade actually is a little bit more yellow than I like, but it's also a little bit lighter. So I thought it would kind of balance out the foundation a little bit, but this shade CC is a little bit more yellow than I tend to like. But honestly, it's not as yellow as that Nars under eye brightener. So I also think doing videos like this, I'm sorry, I'm being really chatty, I know, but I figured I would just kind of tell you where my head is at, because it's fun and I want to share. I also like doing videos like this. I like the everyday makeup drawer videos with the smaller group of products because I also learn what can be decluttered and feel good about decluttering it. Because sometimes, you know, you have to, if you haven't used something in a while, you have like these ideas in your head of what you remember about it or maybe what you don't remember about it. And sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes I think, you know, I like this, and then a month goes by, 2 months goes by, and I use it again and I'm like, oh, actually I don't think that I like that much. And the more I use it, the more I can kind of determine how I feel about it, you know? So that's another reason I want to do more of this style of video this year. Doesn't look bad so far. Not my favorite base I've ever done, but not bad. All right, we're gonna go a little bit out of order here. This is the cream blush that I pulled out. This is the Saie Dew Blush in the shade Rosy. And I actually have two of these. I have Rosy and I have Chili. This is not my favorite blush formula. I don't dislike it, but it's definitely not like a favorite for me. But I have not used this one in quite a while. So this is the shade Rosy. It's kind of interesting to me that it's called Rosy because to me it's a little bit more peachy. So I'm actually going to use my N17 from BK Beauty. And I'm using the lighter fiber side and applying this on my cheeks. Pretty. It's a lot lighter than I remember. So I think I might be able to get away with drawing this one on. I have been really enjoying this N17 brush, specifically for cream and liquid blushes. I don't know, something about this flat shape is really nice for blending, number one, but also just for kind of precisely placing blush and not taking it places where you don't want it. I don't know how to explain it, but this shape and size I really like for a cream blush. I think I can probably just draw this one on. I don't know why I was thinking this was more pigmented. I might be actually thinking of Chili. Chili is the other dew blush that I have. It's a lot darker. And it's more of like kind of a rosy pink, like a mauve pink. That one is pretty pigmented from what I remember. Let's go ahead and set my face now because everything else I've pulled for my face is powder. So the powder that I pulled out is actually the Hourglass the Veil Translucent Setting Powder. Most of my powders I don't feel I neglect too much, to be honest. I think I rotate my powders pretty well, but this is definitely one I don't use a ton. So I'm kind of getting some into my brush here. I love this brush, by the way, and Sephora discontinued it. And I do not know why. Do not know why. This was the number 55. It was actually a foundation brush, but I use it for powder. And I really like it, but they discontinued it. So I'm just taking like a very, very light layer of that powder all over, not very much at all. All right, for bronzer, I pulled out the Chantecaille bronzer. This is the Real Bronze in the shade Sirena. So this is a permanent color, but this was like a limited edition collection. So mine is in a different packaging. I think the regular packaging is red, I want to say. But I got this, if you have been watching for a few months, I got this for my Chantecaille video I did, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And I feel I just haven't used it. I haven't used it enough to really know what my thoughts are on it. But I know a lot of people love this bronzer. So I wanted to use it again today. It's a very, what I do remember about it, and I'm remembering it now as I'm applying this, is it is so seamless on your skin. Like I don't know how else to describe it other than it literally looks like your skin. Your skin is just this color. It has like a little bit of sheen to it, but it's not glittery or shimmery or anything. It just has this beautiful radiance to it that's really pretty. And then something I've been doing lately is I take this little Spectrum brush. This is a Spectrum Katie Jane Hughes brush. It's that number 8. And if I'm using powder bronzer in particular, but I do it with creams too, honestly, I'll take this little brush and like go around my hairline, especially when I have my hair up like this, because I don't know why. I think it's the way my hair grows, but like I can't get bronzer like all the way up in my hairline a lot of the times, like with bigger brushes that just, I don't know what it is. The way my hair grows, it just doesn't want to go up that far. I don't know why. I don't know why. So the only way that I can get it close is if I take like a small little brush like this and kind of go like this and kind of force it in there. But I don't know. It's just the way my hair grows, and I'm always like worried about it because I don't want there to be like that obvious line there, but sometimes there just is because I don't know, my hair just doesn't, my hairline does not accept bronzer. All right, I pulled out this blush from Chantecaille again. This is the powder blush in the shade Laughter. I also got this for my Chantecaille video, and I haven't used it much. So I wanted to use just a little bit of it. So I'm bringing just a little bit, really just popping it like right here on like the apple of my cheek, because I don't need a lot more. Like that's a lot, isn't it? Oh well. But I wanted to use it because I feel like it goes well with that Saie Dew Blush. Don't worry, we'll tone it down. We'll take our sponge. I do this all the time, by the way. If you ever go overboard on your blush, either take a sponge, but your sponge has to be barely damp. That's key. Your sponge cannot be wet. It has to be just barely, barely damp, and bounce over your skin. It will pick up the excess, and it will also just tone it down a little tiny bit. And if that's not enough, you can also take a brush that doesn't have any like color product on it, like your foundation brush if you used one, or if you have a clean brush, you could use that. But I really wanted to use at least just a little bit of that Chantecaille blush. All right, moving on to brows. I'm not going to use my brow powder. We're going to branch out. We're going to use this, what is this? The Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Cool Brown. I forget when these came out. I know it was maybe like summertime 2023 when the eyeshadow sticks came out. And I got the shadow sticks and this, I remember, and did a video on them, but I've just been so out of my brow pencil routine. All I want to do is use that powder, but I want to branch out today, so I'm gonna use this. And this brow pencil is actually angled. It's a really small tip, but it's just slightly angled, which is actually nice because sometimes depending on where you're filling in, it's nice to have that little bit of an angle. This one in Cool Brown is a really good color for my brows though. I am going to use this from Sigma. This is their Prime and Control Brow Wax Stick, They sent me this a while ago and I've used it a few times, but it's not something I reach for a lot. I think you're actually supposed to do this first in your brows and then fill them in, but oh well. I'm just gonna do it the opposite. So I'm just kind of brushing it or pushing it on. And then I'm gonna take the spoolie from the brow pencil and just kind of go back over it a little. This is more of like a brow laminating type product, which I was really into there for a while, but I've just been into more of a regular brow gel lately. Let's move on to eyes. I pulled out the Natasha Denona Mini Starlette palette. This is another palette that I love. I love the colors. It's a beautiful little palette. Have not used it lately though, so let's use this. I'm trying to decide what shades I want to do. I think I want to use this like kind of rosy, bronzy shade. Maybe a little bit of this one too, because I feel like that goes with the makeup. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This one is, I think it's Galaxia. Or no, it's not. It's Rhea, I think, is the shade. I can't ever get the shade names right because they're like backwards on the back of the palette. Anyways, I think this one is called Rhea. And it's like a, kind of like a rose gold kind of shade. So I'm gonna put this on the lid and then kind of bring it up a little bit. It's a pretty one and done shadow. And I'm using this is a Luxie eye shading brush. I don't know that you can even get this brush anymore. I like it though. And I'm just tapping that on. And then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and I'm gonna go into this middle shade, which is Vega. It's a really light pink, I would say, like a peachy pink. And I'm gonna put this in the crease, mainly just to kind of buff out the edges of that Rhea shade. What do you guys think of the Natasha Denona, the Hyper Natural palette, the new face palette that came out? I'm curious what your thoughts are. I've kind of been going back and forth on it. Part of me really wants to buy it and try it. But the other part of me is saying, Blair, you don't use your face palettes. Like, don't buy that palette. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you bought it, let me know what you think of it. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of this bottom shade here, which is Nude Mauve, and I'm gonna use an A502 from BK Beauty. It's a smaller little blending brush. This shade is more cool toned, so I'm adding a little bit of this to try to balance out some of the warmth. But I'm not adding a lot, I'm just doing a little bit on the very outer corner. And then I'm gonna kind of wipe my blending or my big fluffy brush off that we used for the crease color and just kind of blend. This is the A503 from BK Beauty. All right, I'm gonna switch to an even smaller brush and I am gonna take a little bit of this shade up here, Per Se. And this is kind of a purpley shade. I'm gonna try to add this like close to my lash line, mainly in like the outer corner of my eye, just for like a diffused eyeliner look, because I don't know if I'm gonna do liner. I might do a little bit on or in my waterline maybe, but I love using a shadow that's a little bit deeper as liner. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of these two here. So the matte we put in the crease and then this first shade here. And I'm gonna use a little pencil brush from BK Beauty. This is a 210 and apply that on the lower lash line. I lost this little brush for a while and I found it yesterday. And I found it when I was cleaning all my brushes. This is a great pencil brush. It's the 210 from BK Beauty. It's like the perfect size and I had lost mine. But it's a great brush for the lower lash line. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna do is take this bronzer and I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my eyes. Kind of wing it out this way just to kind of make everything come together since we use this bronzer on my face. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of this liner from NYX. This is the mechanical eyeliner in the shade Bronze. It looks like this, so it's a twist up. And I'm not gonna put this on my lash line, but I am gonna try doing a little bit of this in the waterline. Now, I've definitely never put this product in the waterline, so I don't know how this will do here, but I haven't used this liner in a long time. All right, I'm gonna curl my lashes and then we'll do some mascara. So I've been curling my eyes one at a time and doing one at a time with my mascara. The mascara I pulled out is actually this one from City Beauty. This is the Beyond Mascara, the Volumizing Treatment Mascara. I believe this is supposed to have like lash growth benefits or something. And I've used it a handful of times, but it's just not, I don't know, it's not something that really stood out to me, but it's not a bad mascara. I wish it came in brown, like I always say. I wish it came in brown. All right, for lips, I pulled out this Tarte Maracuja Juicy lip liner in the shade Dusty Rose. I don't know why, actually. I don't use this one because I think, from what I remember, I like this formula. It's very, very creamy. Maybe a little too creamy now that I use this again. I like a creamy lip liner, but sometimes they're a little harder to apply because they want to move all around. The color is nice. Yeah, I don't know about that. But the lipstick that I pulled out is this one from Rare Beauty. So this is their matte lipstick in the shade Creative. And I have two of their lipsticks. I have this one and I have the shade Worthy. I use Worthy more than I use this one. So this is Creative. It's more of like a peachy color. But I thought that it would be good for this makeup. Yeah, I actually like their matte formula. I'm not a huge matte lipstick person, but every now and then I don't mind it. And then one final product is actually a Patrick Ta product, believe it or not. Most of his or all of his products are very used by me, but this gloss I find that I kind of forget about. This is one of his original glosses in She's an Influencer. So this is not his plumping gloss formula. This is the one he had before the plumping gloss formula. And I think it was pretty popular, but I don't hear many people talk about it now. Ooh, actually that looks really pretty with that lipstick. Really pretty. So it has a lot of shimmer in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it has like pink and gold, like different color shimmers in it. Okay, that's really pretty. I like this lip combo. All right, you guys, This is the finished makeup. What do we think? These are not my favorite products. There are some products in here that I like, but I don't love everything here. But I feel like it came together pretty well. And I feel like I learned some things about these products by doing this video, which is the whole point and why I want to keep doing them. But one thing I have to say is the base makeup, even though I don't love the Nars under eye corrector colors, and I still feel like it looks a little bit yellow under my eyes, but the bronzer, the blush, the foundation, this base looks really good. Really, really good. Really smooth, really skin-like. I'm impressed. I think this is a good drugstore product right here. I wish there were more shades. I wish so badly they would make more shades, or they would release a new foundation with a better shade range. I don't know. I feel like Neutrogena has such potential, but they don't do the shades. I don't know why. But I gotta say, I like how this turned out. I wasn't sure, like halfway through, I thought, oh no, this makeup may not turn out well at all, but I don't know. I kind of like how it looks now. Even the lip combo, I would not have paired those three things together, but they were the three things that kind of stuck out that I definitely felt like were neglected, and I like them together actually, and it goes well with the makeup look. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like these videos. I really do want to do a series with these, so keep on doing them. I think it's a good way for me to rotate my products in addition to my everyday makeup drawers every month that I do and I love. But I hope you enjoyed. I will have everything that I used listed and linked in the description box. They are affiliate links that support my channel if you shop through them. Thank you so much. If you are new and have not subscribed yet, I hope that you will. Stick around. We would love to have you here. If you're on Instagram, make sure you're following me at simply.blair. I'm also on TikTok at simply.blair1. I will see you next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.